What's up, Columbus? My name is Kevin Lloyd. I am your host here today. I am happy that you're here, but I'm excited to share the ColumbusBlack.com is presenting the Small Business Showcase Series, proudly sponsored by Experience Columbus. This is an amazing series of episodes where you will learn about small businesses and entrepreneurs right here in Central Ohio doing amazing things. Now, this is really cool because it's a part of an initiative that was implemented by Columbus City Councilmember Nick Bankston. He wanted small businesses to have the opportunity to have access to Experience Columbus so that they can become big businesses. And with that being said, remember, sharing is caring. So don't forget to share this episode and enjoy.
Welcome to a new episode of the Support Black Business series, which is presented by ColumbusBlack.com and proudly sponsored by Experience Columbus. You all have been hearing all the great news about these episodes. Well, today we have a very, very special treat for you all, and I'm super excited because we talked about the creator of the initiative to help support this small business program with Experience Columbus, and he happens to be here with us today. With that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm excited to share that Nick Bankston is in the building. How are you, Councilmember Nick Bankston?
I'm doing good, Kevin, and thank you for having me. I mean, you talk about me and Black business, but you are the original, right, in OG in this of putting Black businesses on and giving us a platform to shine. So thank you for everything you do. It's our honor.
I'll sit on the couch. Well, listen, I appreciate it. It goes full circle. Yeah. So honored to be here as well. So listen, why don't we do this, right? Obviously, we've known each other for years. A lot of people throughout our city know you because all the great work that you've been doing. We appreciate what you're doing on city council in your leadership. But for those that don't know who you are, tell us a little bit about yourself, the Columbus story.
Yeah, so, I'm a Columbus kid, born and raised right here in the city. Went to Cassie Elementary School, Arts Impact Middle School, graduated from the East High School.
Shout out.
And
you got some fans out there.
Yeah, that's right. And then finally graduated from the Ohio State University. I would say, really, I've grown up with the city as the city has grown.
Yeah.
And really, that's a part of my story, raising my two sons here, Xavier and Isaiah.
Yeah.
And want to really build a city that they could be proud of. And so, being a husband and a father and a son of Columbus, I think about these spaces intimately and how we show up for our community. And so, really proud of that background and a lot of work to do in our community, but I think that we are heading in the right direction.
Outstanding. What a story, right? To literally be raised here, grow up here, go to school here, and now representing our city the way that you do. We appreciate it.
Yeah, and a life of public service, because I was institutions that helped shape who I am, right? My rec center, Howard Rec Center. Again, I mentioned the schools that I went to, the teachers that I had, Miss Howe, my band director at East, Mr. Ed Johnson, my principal at East High School as well. Those folks poured into me, right? Institutions like Columbus City Schools, my superintendent at the time, Eugene Harris. And so for me, public service was something that was always surrounded by me. My mother, who raised me, my stepmother, a public servant for job and other services. My dad, a blue collar worker, right? And so it's those institutions, I think, that shaped who I am. So when I had the opportunity to think or to pick a career field, public service was a no-brainer for me.
Wow.
And it's how you step into that and how we ensure that government gives its people the resources, access, and opportunities for them to thrive. And whatever avenue like that is in small business, entrepreneurship, it absolutely has to be local.
Outstanding. Thank you for sharing that. Because now we all understand how you became who you are, right? The people around you that helped to mold you. And we appreciate you coming back into public service and providing that. So you kind of segued into a question that I had, right? So you actually are behind the initiative to help support the small business program with Experience Columbus. Yeah. And you obviously understand how important entrepreneurship is for businesses. What has driven you toward that, though, right? Obviously, you're the chair of the committee, and as a city council member, it's a big focus for you. But there has to be some passion around that. What's triggered that passion? Because I see you all the time, and you're out here and highlighting businesses and supporting businesses and creating initiatives like this. There's a passion there. Talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, the passion really centers around my larger platform. It's a platform of economic justice, of ensuring that we don't only fix the social ills, but we fix the economic condition of our residents, in particular residents who have been left behind. And we know disproportionately that is Black, that's brown, in many cases it's women, but it's minority businesses that have not seemingly got the opportunity to share in the success of our city. And so for me, that's what drives it. And it is really about wealth creation. Right. You know that some of the key ways to build wealth in this country are through ownership. Right. And that's home ownership as a way to utilize a piece of property that you have as equity, and or it is entrepreneurship and owning your own business. And so really what I think about this is pathways for folks to build wealth. And so how do we remove barriers? Barriers that have been there for generations and decades, particularly for Black businesses, access to capital, not being able to be a member of some of these organizations. You think about some of the work they're even doing with the Columbus Chamber. People have to remember there's a period in time of our chamber's history. Right. That Black folks weren't allowed. That's right. You think about some of the organizations and institutions around this city where dialogue and connections and relationships are built. Black folks were locked out of that for generations. Right. And so it is not enough just to say that these doors are not open, but there's been decades of barriers put in place for them to be able to have success. And what we found with this program, the small business program through Experience Columbus, is that it's about getting folks in the room. Yeah. So removing that simple barrier of a cost of membership, removing that simple barrier of not being able to be inside the ring. All we have done is give folks who have been locked out of those rooms for so long access to be able to tell their own story. There you go. And what I have found is that that is not a handout. That is not even a leg up. It's just basic pump. It's a basic foundation. Yeah. So there's nothing special happening here other than these people can tell their own story. Yeah. They get in a room and network and be able to sell themselves, because if you can have that opportunity to sell yourself, you do that better than anybody else. Right. And that is going to build capacity, and that unlocks opportunities for you to then grow and get access to capital to move on. But really at the end of the day, what is the burning passion for me is to ensure that we remove barriers for Black folks, that they have the same access of opportunity to tell their stories, that minorities have the same access and opportunity to tell their story, that women, again, folks that have been locked out for many generations, that we are breaking those locks, providing a vehicle and a pathway for them to have an opportunity and a shot.
Thank you for sharing that. You used the word a few times that, throughout my journey, especially in the effort to build an ecosystem for entrepreneurs and Black entrepreneurs in this community, is access. That word keeps coming up, access. And so what you have done, right, throughout your time and your tenure, has been able to try to create that access for minority business owners. What other resources are out there, right? Like, one of the things that I've seen is we have limited knowledge and awareness too of some of the resources that exist. So love to pick your brain on some of the things that you think we should be looking at, where there are additional resources or support to help us grow our businesses as well.
Yeah, one of the things that I was able to launch in my first year of being officer, I'm very proud of, and I think with maybe little to fanfare, is our small business hub. So that's the Columbus Small Business Hub that is a digital asset and tool that pulls those ecosystem partners' data and pulls it all into one place, right? That's cbussmallbizhub.com. And the way that it works is that those are other partners that are in this space that we funded directly as a city, or that are just doing this business of helping entrepreneurs. In many cases, it's not direct programming that the city does, right? We fund other partners to do this work. Right. And so the Small Biz Hub, why I'm so proud of it, that it centralizes all of those things. Another one that I'm really proud of and the work that we've done is around our Accelerate Columbus suite of accelerators. Yeah. And I say a suite of accelerators because it's not just one. Okay. It is about wherever a business is in their life cycle. We did a lot of learnings in that folks were tired of going through the accelerator to teach you how to start an LLC. Right.
Right.
Now, that may be for some folks, right? But some folks, if you at this game and you looking for funding and stages, you probably formed the LLC, you got the basics.
Right.
And so you may be at different points in your life cycle where you need support with marketing, support with website design. You need support with storytelling, where you may need support on the business plan. So it allows you to plug and play and choose as a menu of options what accelerator you want to go through.
Okay.
And those are free of charge. What are the entrepreneurs? We actually invest $1 million a year as a city, watch this, into other small businesses. Those are the support organizations.
Okay.
Who then invest back into small businesses. And so for me, that's critically important because you asked about that question in this one.
Yeah.
Why do we do this? It is so that we also create an ecosystem by which small businesses are doing business with small businesses.
Right.
If we think that the only way to scale and grow is that you get the big contract, and you got to do money, and you got to do business with government, and you got to do business with the big dogs like Nationwide.
And
kind of absolutely, I want folks to do that.
Definitely.
But we also have the power and the ability to create business within our own ecosystem. So that's small businesses talking to other small businesses and helping other small businesses grow. So those are resources, other great resources. And I think there's a great, fabulous young lady there named Madison working at the Minority Business Assistance Center at your Columbus Urban League, a brick and mortar spot that helps guide you and navigate you through that. So there's a plethora of resources, to your point, I think, where government,
Right.
if we're going to be honest, sometimes where we get it wrong is on the communication side.
Okay.
How we're communicating to folks.
That's right.
How they receive them. And so that's where we have to do a better job. And that's why I'm so thankful to partners like you that help us spread the message that these things exist for folks out there. So I would challenge folks to go to cbussmallbizhub.com, and there you'll see a plethora of different opportunities, not just offered by the city, but offered by partners like the state of Ohio and other entrepreneur support organizations that are there to help our small businesses grow.
Nice. Listen, y'all, he just dropping, for those that have followed me, y'all know what happens when I start doing this, right? That means gems are being dropped. He just dropped some serious gems. I didn't even know about the Small Business Hub, so y'all know I'm going to check that one out. The Accelerate piece, obviously, I have known about that, but I think it's really smart in the way that you broke it down, because everybody is at different phases and stages of growing their business along their journey. And so I think that's really key because it's so relevant to what it is that you really need, right?
Right.
And then a last plug to Madison Lloyd, right? So, yeah, that's my daughter. So she's helping out on the MBAC side and helping businesses become NDE certified, which is another way to get access to these opportunities, right?
That's right.
So that's awesome. All right, cool. So let's talk about Experience Columbus real quick. How did that relationship come together, right, to foster this massive opportunity for businesses, so people understand like how it's not just about, okay, is the city council or is the city, we're doing these things, but how we're leveraging collaboration and partnerships too.
Yeah, so Experience Columbus, interestingly enough, actually approached me about it.
Okay.
So we were doing this work. Folks may know about the program, the Urban Business Connection, that's at the Chamber in partnership with the Columbus Urban League, which I'm extremely proud of to have been able to support that from day one of being in office. We've now expanded it twice over now, and it's helping Black businesses specifically succeed. An evolution of that is that there's also Cultivate Us at the Chamber that is focused on immigrant businesses. And so Experience Columbus, who's really had a dedication to diversity in the hospitality industry, really approached me and said, we've been giving this some thought. We have a partnership program as well.
Yeah.
Where folks can be members of Experience Columbus. And those are the folks that we typically lead on when events come to town, when they need vendors for certain things. I say, this is a no-brainer. Should absolutely use, because, some of the other programs are more tailored towards service-based industries or maybe product-based industries. And sometimes hospitality can get lost in that. But Experience Columbus sits on that line of how are they promoting the city, and that's externally to the rest of the world, but it's also internal to us as Columbus residents of how we feel and experience the city. No club included, no pun intended. And so they approached me actually and said, we want to do this model as well, because we're also committed to ensuring that the parkers of Experience Columbus are reflective of the city as well. So we hit it out the park. Starting off, I think I want to say with maybe 25 businesses or so. I think we're past 50, maybe even 70 businesses or so. And really what it is membership to Experience Columbus. So we remove that barrier, right, becoming a partner, right? And because there is a cost to be a partner with Experience Columbus, but there's also return on investment, I would say. Yeah. So we remove that barrier, but then also this added exposure that they get to get. So many times, particularly minority businesses and our solopreneurs and entrepreneurs, they're busy head down trying to do the day-to-day operations of their business. So the next investment that they make is going to be on a piece of technology. It might be on a piece of, it may be expanding their business and hiring a person. Yeah. Most time, the thing that falls at the wayside is marketing. Absolutely. And exposure. Yep. And so how do we remove that barrier to allow this platform that Experience Columbus has across different media platforms, across the community and across the country to elevate these businesses and give them an opportunity to have a platform? And so that's really how it came about. And so I'm really proud of the work of Experience Columbus and what they've done and their dedication to small businesses and local businesses. Right. When folks come to Columbus and they have their reading, it's not enough to say, yeah, we got great convention center. Yeah, we have all these great things, but we also had dope small businesses that can be your event planners, that can be your restaurateurs, that can be your caterers, right? We have all of that right here in Columbus, and a way to do that and the vehicle to do that is through Experience Columbus. So it's a no-brainer that our minority businesses need to also have a shot in being in the part of this partnership.
Outstanding. I love that, especially because of the interviews that I've been able to do. And then obviously we've been members of the small business program, so we've been able to be a beneficiary of it as well. Yeah. And then on the flip side, we get to help with the exposure of those other businesses. And just like you mentioned, I mean, all kind of different services and industries that we represent. And it's really great to have that opportunity. But I know the biggest feedback has been from everyone is the marketing that they receive from this, right? So TV, radio, digital, they've had a lot of exposure that's helping to get them the awareness and engagement that they need to drive their businesses.
Yeah, because believe it or not, people still watch regular TV. Yeah, they do. They still listen to the radio. They still, I know everybody thinks that it's just TikTok, which I'm not even on TikTok, but my dad is for some reason. That's so crazy. Interesting. A little R&B, right? So it is this combination and this intersection of, yes, social media, and that's the medium that I think a lot of folks at certain generations are geared towards, but it's still those traditional media markets that had much broader exposure and actually are a much higher price point. Right. There's the barrier of entry there. So if you have to get removing barriers to give folks a platform and space to tell their stories, that's really what this is all about.
Outstanding. Listen, check that out, y'all. I know, round of applause. Every entrepreneur is clapping their hands right now because we all get it and it's so important. So thank you again today. And so as we get ready to wrap up, what's next, right? Like you've done a number. We didn't get into a lot of what you've actually done, right? So we'll be sharing this bio. So when you check this out on ColumbusBlack.com, we'll add your bio so they could see the amount of work and programs and initiative you actually supported over the years. So this is not, as we say, you're not new to this, you're true to this. But what's next? What do you see on the horizon as you continue to support businesses, small businesses, minority businesses in Columbus?
You know, I appreciate that. I appreciate the accolades of the praise, but that's not why I do it. You know, it is really warms my heart when I see that business get that next contract. Yeah. I've seen folks expand and open up into other locations, right? Because of these kinds of connections and opportunities. So that's really, why I do the work. And I tell folks, it's not just me. I simply just had the political will to say we're going to do this. My thanks goes to all of those businesses, minority businesses, women-owned businesses, Black businesses, who stepped up and took the opportunity. Yeah. And programs like this, Urban Business Connection, Experience Columbus Small Business Program, Accelerate Columbus. Yeah. All of those are for naught. You only get out of it what you put in.
That's right. That's a fact.
And so the ones who have shown up
Yeah.
And I can call a lot of their names. I think about folks like Asia with H&H Luxury Events. I think of Posh Tea Time.
Yeah.
And what they're doing. I think of so many other folks. Doug and Black Kahawa Coffee right there at the corner of High and Broad Street is a part of our Graph for Growth initiative that has now put 7 new small local businesses in downtown Columbus.
Nice.
And I'm proud to say that 6 of them are minority businesses.
Okay.
And that is the work of intention.
That's right.
So what I can tell you what is next for us is going to be continuing to be intentional.
Mm-hmm.
We're intentional about our investments. And I think we were talking about this right before we started, that this idea and this time that we find ourselves in, diversity is not dead.
Right.
Equity is not gone.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Inclusion is still critical.
Absolutely it is.
But folks have heard me say this, DEI doesn't mean jack shit. I don't know if we're allowed to cuss on this podcast.
Okay. You're all good.
But it's not, it doesn't mean anything unless there's intention.
Right. Yep.
Intention around your investments and intention on how you show up.
Okay.
So in this moment, for us to show up as Columbus authentically, and when I say what is next,
Right.
it's for all of us to be intentional.
Okay.
That means if we care about diversity, we care about equity, we care about inclusion, we say that this is who we are as Columbus, that doesn't take a job title or position.
That's right.
That doesn't take a mission statement.
Nope.
It takes us showing up for neighbors, being intentional about how we treat each other, intentional about where we spend our money, intentional about whose names we uplift in spaces in the rooms where they don't get to be.
Right.
And so that is the moment that we find ourselves in. So I'm going to continue to be intentional investing in Experience Columbus in this program, intentionally investing in the work that we've done with the Urban League and the College Chamber.
Yeah.
Our Graph for Growth initiative in downtown is in phase 3, and that's really a stabilization phase to make sure that those businesses don't just open their doors, but they stay. Part of my visual around all this that we do is about sustainability, because we can't get so excited about the applause and the ribbon cutting.
That's right.
That we miss the morning of doors that close every single day.
Absolutely.
And what I mean by that is, yes, I want to be a place where you could come and do business, but more importantly, I want to celebrate those doors still being open 5, 10 years later. So whatever we do, there has to be intentionality and there has to be sustainability in it.
Right.
And so that is what we will continue to do. And I'm looking forward to the next chapter, how we continue to unlock doors that open up opportunities for businesses all across this community.
Outstanding. Listen, y'all saw him. He was dropping those gems again, left and right and left and right, right? And so we appreciate that. And listen, y'all, be intentional. You just said it. That's right. Gonna be intentional.
And you know, I have to lift this up too, because I think that there's so many grassroots things that are bubbling up within Happy. And I think about Columbus Black and how it started. Grassroots, boots on the ground,
Davey.
right? Working every single day, it has risen to this. So I want to highlight some of the things that Derek Connell is doing over at COED, the Center for Entrepreneurship Development. My partners like Kim Knights at Columbus Empowerment Corporation. These are all folks. Akina Smith with the WCBO and what she's doing around William
Bloody, so it's amazing work.
All of these folks, people we have to lift up.
Yes.
Because in many things that started with a spark, with a dream, it started with this understanding there's a niche in the market that they bind themselves in, but also this cross collaboration that happens. That is where we also have an opportunity too, for us to collaborate. Yeah. There's competition in business, we get that.
Right.
But there's also room for collaboration.
Yeah, as I say, it's power in collaboration. Yeah, right? Yep, absolutely. So, well said. So listen, if we actually get ready to wrap here completely is, Nick, sometimes people come on, the show and they're like, man, I meant to say this, this, and this.
Yeah.
I think you've done a well job of giving us the full picture, but is there anything else that you have on your mind or your heart that you said, I want to make sure I share this with our community as well? Because a lot of people want to watch this. So is there anything that we may have missed today?
The one last thing I will share is this. That small business, if it is not cliche, is truly the lifeblood of any community, but particularly at Columbus. They tell the story of us. They tell the story of our neighborhoods. They are the fabric that makes up the city. And so it is fitting that Experience Columbus has taken that on to make sure that small businesses are a part of it, because that's what folks look for when they travel. They learn uniqueness. Exactly. Right? They want to see what's unique and what Columbus has to offer. And so I say to folks, look, we got challenges. That is true. But Columbus is an amazing position. And if we don't position ourselves right, or we don't be intentional to ensure that everyone sees themselves in that success story, right? And everyone has a shot and an opportunity, then we will miss the mark and become like every other big city that just grew the growth's sake. So again, intentionality about doing business with small businesses, lifting them up. That is really my goal and vision with this program. Here's my goal and vision of downtown, to ensure that that the diversity of our city is reflected in the heart of our city. Right. And frankly, and that is where visitors come. That's the visitor center. So folks got to see what Columbus has to offer. And so I say in this moment to my entrepreneurs, that idea that was in me, don't let it die. Right. It's there. And if you have a city that has your back, yeah, it's going to be challenging. Of course. As you know, in this, being an entrepreneur, I say that y'all all crazy.
It takes a little crazy to do what we did.
It's y'all all crazy. But what I tell you is that when there's opportunities like this, yeah, thank them, because you're trusting us with your dream. Yes, B. You're trusting us with your story. And so we have to ensure that we do everything we can to make sure that we help them get to the next level. And you're going to continue to do that. But that is really what this is all about, is making sure that the lifeblood of our city, yeah, our small businesses, and that the pathway for folks to create generational wealth are accessible to every city first.
And there we had it. That's right, y'all. Councilmember Nick Bankston here with us. He just dropped a lot of gems. We appreciate you for all the work you're doing. Listen, y'all. He said it, be intentional. Y'all show some humility and how humble he is, but at the end of the day is the leadership. And I know I was inspired, and I was thinking while you were wrapping up, I'm fired up and I'm ready to go. So to my fellow entrepreneurs, let's do what we do. To our city, be intentional. Support, help, grow. Just like the city and Councilmember Nick Bankston is supporting us, we need your support as well. I appreciate it, and as you all know, y'all should like, share, follow, all that good stuff, subscribe. We need your support to continue to grow and continue to get the word out there. Thank you once again. Thank you, Lord. You got it. And on that note, we're out. Peace. Let me keep my